Hey guys, this is Jeff with Tenacore. Today we're going to talk about the Aimpoint COA and their collaboration with Glock. We're going to try to answer some of your questions. For some people, they are very happy with all of the optic plates and interfaces that are out there on the market. Other folks, particularly larger government agencies who shoot them a lot and use them a lot, have found that the interface and the mounting system and the optics don't hold up as well as they want. The reality is most of these optics are things like shotgun optics that have been kind of jerry-rigged onto a slide of a handgun. That's where all of this stuff started. And so the idea that someone would be like, hey, maybe it's worth rethinking this whole thing. What does it look like to build a mounting system from the ground up that is intentionally designed to work with an optic and a semi-automatic handgun slide and all of the forces that go along with that? I think that makes a lot of sense. A good analogy with this is thinking that the people who are down on this idea are the same kind of people who are like, Picatinny rails are awesome and Keymod and M-Lock are stupid and a waste of time, right? At the time, a lot of people said that. And obviously M-Lock has shown itself to be probably superior, certainly is better received in the marketplace. But the idea that Glock and Aimpoint are gonna try something new and maybe something that's better and it's gonna work better, today this might cause a lot of friction for you as an individual looking to buy a handgun and an optic. However, 10 years from now, this might be the thing that changes the marketplace and puts us in a situation where we have something like M-Lock handguards on an AR-15 and it becomes kind of the standard. And so we don't know what the future holds. I think it's really cool that Aimpoint and Glock are trying something new and different that might actually be better. It could be a problem. So obviously if both screws come out and your backup iron sight falls off and your optic falls off, that's not gonna work great. You obviously could still shoot the gun, you could sight off the slide, but it's not gonna work as well as if you have a sighting system. And that is a potential downfall to this. That being said, they're bigger, more robust screws, and there's two of them. And so generally screws hold reasonably well if you use the proper Loctite, but it is a potential fail point, and it's a fail point that is dependent upon the user setting it up correctly. So a lot of people have asked about the weight difference, and you can go out to the internet and do a bunch of searches on the different weights of the different slides and of the different optics, and that's all fine and good. However, there's what I think is a more important, a practical weight. And so we weighed a bunch of things. We're basically taking what is a 47 slide with sights and a plate look like, compare that to what a slide with a COA looks like, and also other optics. And so I'll kind of run down some of those results. So the MOS 47 slide has the plastic plate on it. It doesn't have a metal plate. Weighs about 323 grams. The COA adds 47 grams. A regular RMR, like an RMR 06, adds 43 grams. An RMR HD adds 50 grams. An Acro adds 88 grams. Okay, so the Acro is significantly heavier. The COA is definitely in the range of other similar popular optics. And then if you look at a 43X, the difference with the 43X is the 43X will come with a metal slide cover plate. So if I take the 43X MOS slide with the metal slide cover plate and metal sights, we have about 283 grams for the slide weight. The difference between that and a COA is 13 grams. So the COA is only adding an additional 13 grams. And again, that's the difference between the plastic slide cover plate and the metal slide cover plate. And then on the EPS carry, in comparison, because that's a pretty common optic, it adds 9 grams. So the battery tray is accessed through the side, and obviously some people have pointed out this is similar to the Holosun battery tray, and it is. That being said, it seems less chintzy than the Holosun one. So I would say the window on the COA is large and clear. And so there is the size of the window, like what are the specs of the glass, similar to like on your phone. There's how big is the glass on your phone, but then there's like the viewable area. And so we went with calipers and measured the viewable area. And so if I look at the measurement, the COA is 0.652 inches wide and 0.622 inches tall. There's a little variance in there because it's me trying to dial in exactly what is the viewable portion. If I compare that to the Acro P2, The Acro P2 is 0.613 wide and 0.595 tall. And so the COA viewable portion is actually larger than the Acro P2, even though the Acro P2 is huge compared to the COA. Generally speaking, the COA is as big or bigger than pretty much every optic out there. The only ones that are a noticeable difference is the SRO. Obviously the SRO, with it designed as kind of a competition optic with its large round window, it's 0.911 wide and then 0.785 tall. So again, it's bigger. And then the RMR HD is a little bit shorter, with its 0.582 height versus the COA's 0.622, but it is much wider. So it's 0.833 wide versus the COA 652 wide. So the samples we have steel sights, so both a steel rear sight and a steel front sight. I don't know for sure what the production version will be. I can't imagine they're gonna put a plastic front sight on a gun with a metal rear sight. The rear sight does not have windage adjustment. Glock did not buy Aimpoint. Our understanding is for the first year, Glock owns all of the production of the COA optic. And so the only way to acquire a COA optic is to purchase it with or on a gun. So you can buy a 47, 45, 19, 48, 43, and it will come with the COA optic on it. You cannot buy a slide separately. You cannot buy the optic separately. You cannot buy a optic slide combo separately. Again, our understanding of that is for about the first year. Then after that, we don't know what will happen. If you have a stock slide with no slide cuts, you would be able to mill it for the COA. The rumor we have heard from some people is that there might be enough meat on a standard MOS slide that you could mill it for the A cut. That has not been confirmed, however. But that being said, for the first year, it doesn't really matter because you can't buy the optic without the gun. There's a front slot on the side of the COA. Don't know for sure. If I had to guess, just based on the design, it's probably for some sort of cap or cover. The glass on the COA is very clear. It is, I would say, impressively clear compared to other things. Comparing the EPS to the COA, the EPS glass is much more blue, but it's not by a significant margin. If I compare it to things like the RMR HD, and the SRO, those are all significantly more blue and they obstruct vision much more than the COA. The COA compared to the Acro P2, the clarity of the glass seems very similar, but the window is bigger and it clearly is letting more light in. It makes it for a much cleaner viewing experience through the COA window versus the Acro P2 window. The dot in the COA is very clear. It's very similar to most of the optics that I tested. A lot of that is dependent upon a person's vision and whether they have astigmatism and other weird things like that. So I did not notice a significant difference really between the Holosun COA, Acro P2, and the Trijicon optics that I looked at. I think the new mounting system is really cool. Essentially, what it seems like to me, the mounting system is like a ski boot and bindings. It is removing force from the screws and putting force transfer into the interface between the optic and the actual slide. And I think that's really cool. And so just like any new product, time will tell whether or not it is a good solution or not. Or over time will tell whether it's a better solution than the current solutions or not. But it has lots of promise and I'm really excited about it. I absolutely would buy one. I plan to buy a full gun and optic, and I plan to shoot it a bunch. And then if that individual sample proves to be a reliable sample, I plan to carry it. It appears to be a better quality optic with less view obstruction in a smaller package than really any other optic that I have interacted with. And so absolutely I would buy one. But I wouldn't buy one thinking I've solved the problem. I would buy one thinking, I need to shoot it and test it and see how it works. And if it works, great. That being said, if I already had an optic and a gun that I liked, I wouldn't buy one, right? There's no reason to change if it actually works. If you are interested in trying it, then you should try it. And you should hope that this is a catalyst for more innovation and more improvement so that guns become better, optics become better, mounting interfaces become better, and it leads to easier shooting guns that are more durable, that are more concealable, that just do everything better. So overall, I'm excited about it, and I am looking forward to owning my own personal version of it and shooting it a bunch.
You want to give them a closing, thanks for watching?
Sure. Thanks for watching.